Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. The first two cards that we have out are, wow, okay. We have Six of Swords, Ten of Swords. You could have been trying to move on from something. Having Six of Swords and Ten of Swords, like Six of Swords generally speaks about like moving forward or moving on or things settling down, where it's meant to be sort of better or easier, but it seems actually like you could be moving forward from a situation that was challenging and then moving into another challenging situation. Looks like this has to do with a partnership because I'm seeing the Lovers here. Moving right into the Ten of Swords. So this is kind of just like, okay, another thing is happening now. You can feel kind of lost at this point. Ten of Swords can be a feeling kind of a rock bottom. And then having the Lovers here, this does generally allude to a relationship being involved, but it's not only that, it's also about choices that can be made too. Like, what do we do now? What do we do here? And generally something that's being decided between you and another person. What happens now? So yeah, it could have felt like things were getting better. Then the Ten of Swords happened, so it can be like, okay, I guess, like, never mind, it's not getting better. And then kind of at a bit of a loss for what to do here. It has not been feeling easy with you and this person, I am seeing. Although it does seem like a lot has been sort of taken in from this experience. Because the way that I'm seeing your energy come out, it feels like wanting to, like, seeking truth, wanting to understand things. I want to know what's going on, like that type of thing. Because you have the Page of Swords looking at the Lovers. Page of Swords can speak about communication, about wanting to know things, wanting to learn things, wanting to understand things, wanting to talk about things, like all of that, gather information. Even too, before deciding something, as the Lovers can be a choice that's going to be made between you and another person, things that are going to be figured out regarding what feels appropriate for your relationship and your relationship dynamics. Having Page of Swords here is wanting to get all the information before you do something. So this can be needing to have a conversation before something is done, or I need to look more into this. It can be like that type of thing. Or it can be a curious conversation trying to find out what's going on, why is this happening? At that point, when you see what you need to see, when you sort of get whatever information it is that you're seeking, then I'm seeing you move forward. So all of this goes down. You're trying to figure some stuff out. Once you, again, get that information, you're going to be able to move forward, but it looks like being still until that is figured out, or you do find that. The word limbo is coming through. So you have the Lovers here, and see how the Page of Swords is looking at the Lovers. So this is you being like, what do I need to see here? I'm trying to figure things out, problem solve. You can feel like this situation is somewhat complicated. To have you coming out as a page, it can be this feeling of, I've never been in this type of situation before, or I feel a little bit out of my depth here and I have to spend time figuring this out, or this can feel like a bit of a learning curve within a relationship. So you can feel like that. So once that happens and you get what you need to get, as the lovers are over here, so you're looking at that, then you're going to be able to move forward again. This is backwards, this is forward. This is where you are. So once that happens, you're going to sort of know what to do, like where to put your energy and what to apply your energy to, and then you'll be able to move forward. Now, where are you moving forward to? It looks like you're moving forward into a position where you're gonna have to be patient while you figure something out. So you go into this position of there's something that's being worked, reworked, there can be problem solving that's happening, flexibility, sort of needing to be patient with the process as things unfold. As you figure it out. You can be working something out about reciprocity, values, the give and take within the relationship. Maybe that's what all of this was about in the first place. Maybe you're trying to find out stuff that has to do with compatibility with you and this person. Yeah, it seems like something was going on that could have felt like not maybe your ideal within a dynamic, and that's what had happened. Because you could have been moving towards a space even where something was going on between you and this person where you could have felt like maybe one person was showing up and the other person, like, just something didn't feel right within the interaction. And I'm seeing it kind of end badly, whatever it was. But it could have been a moment, you know, it could have been a day. It doesn't have to be like the whole relationship, or maybe the whole relationship is at stake. But it feels like something having to do with that, of like, am I getting what I need? Am I giving you what you need? Like that whole thing. But trying to figure that out, as it may not feel like totally and completely obvious. And that's what is being worked out, it seems. Like, can this be sustainable and can this actually work? Is this something that fits together? But yeah, it feels like that was what the issue was, like where this came from, what sort of generated this happening in the first place. I wonder if this is sort of an ongoing issue. Can things be sustainable? Can you get them not just to a place where it's mediocre, but actually like how you want things to be? Is that possible? Because Six of Pentacles can be like, okay, this is all right. In this setting, I'm seeing it kind of be like, maybe things can be all right, but it may not be like the best. It can just be like, okay, this can work, I guess, but it may not necessarily be like your total ideal. But then having 10 of Pentacles come out feels like wondering if things can actually be great. Not just good, or not just all right, or not just okay, but can it actually be great? And can it stay like that too? Is that possible to sort of get there to that point where it feels like this works and it's functioning and it's stable, it's not going to keep faltering? And it seems like that's what's going on. The strange thing is that it seems like, I feel like this is a repeat cycle with you and this person. Why I'm saying that is because it looks like something was going on before between you guys, and then there was like the moving forward from that. So things may have been in like not the best shape. Then stuff was happening where we could like move on from that and things could get better. And then you move into a position where you could have felt like, okay, this is great, like things are going great now, and then something happens again. And it feels like just this, it feels like a cycle at this point, or like a pattern at this point. Like, are things destined to just be unstable with you and this person? I just get this sense of like a tower hitting and being like, man, I just built that. And now this thing with this person, and now this thing is crumbling down again. And then you're sort of left being like, well, where do we go from here? What happens here? Now at this point, like, you could have even felt like you were at like the highest height yet even, and then it comes crashing down. It's not funny, it's frustrating more than anything, what I'm seeing within the energy. But you can be to the point where you're like, I don't know what to do besides to just like laugh because I'm like so mad. You know when you get that feeling about something where it's like, why isn't this working? It feels like that. Like, why can't it just stay good when it's good? Like, that type of thing. Yeah, this Six of Pentacles feels maybe a little bit like begging for crumbs. Is this something that emotionally is going on between you and this person? More than anything. There can be other things that are part of this, but I feel like there's some underlying thing going on, like energetically, emotionally. Yeah. Okay, so let's say this too. Okay. What I'm seeing is that there could have been emotional turmoil with you and this person where you could have felt like you weren't super open to them based off of what was going on before. Then I'm seeing you get to a place where it's like, okay, we've moved on from that. I'm feeling like safe again emotionally and wanting like intimacy or wanting to connect. I'm saying that because I'm seeing Queen of Cups here. So this is somebody that's like, I'm looking for emotional intimacy, or I'm looking to connect with you in some type of loving way. It will be like that type of thing where definitely emotions are involved. Regardless of what's going on, there will be like a deeper underlying emotional energy of being vulnerable, that being a big part of it. So what this is looking like to me is that you could have gotten into a position where you're feeling very open towards this person, as Queen of Cups is like, I want to show you how much I care, like that I love you, that I'm receptive to you as well, and that my heart is open to you. Queen of Cups. So something was happening, you got to this place where then you became open again, and then the Ten of Swords happens. So you could have felt like this was very damaging to you emotionally. Kind of like I opened my heart and then this happened, and like right as I like opened it, like got shot right there, like metaphorically speaking, energetically speaking. So that can feel very scathing, the way that occurs. That means too that you would have opened yourself up to be like in tune and in touch and sort of like compassionate and empathetic for where this other person is too. Like, you're not only carrying your emotions when you're in this position, you're also like doing that for the other person too, as a way of showing that you're there and that you're present and that you're loving and that you're caring. So then to have this thing happen when you put yourself in a very vulnerable position, because of knowing that that's the only way that you can connect truly deeply with another person, and then feeling like this happens, it can be very discouraging is what I get from this. Like, if you open yourself up and you get hurt after working yourself back up to be in this position, it just makes a lot of sense why you would maybe feel like you just got hurt in a very challenging way, in a way where you showed up in like your most vulnerable skin with another person, and then that's exactly what ended up being wounded with the Ten of Swords. So it wasn't even just you showing up and like playing it safe. This is you wearing your heart on your sleeve and then getting hurt. And that can feel, again, very scathing. That's the word that's coming through for this. I wonder, too, if this is like telling you more about what you want, like what you're seeking and what you need. And this can be a situation that the opposite of that is happening, but it's indicating something to you. Because I do get the sense of, in this Ten of Swords, in this rock bottom, what comes of it, I'm seeing Nine of Cups, which feels like it's making it very, very clear to you what you're looking for and what you want in a relationship in general. Sort of what your emotional standards are for the connection you're looking for the intimacy that you're looking for the mutual vulnerability that you're looking for. And to have somebody that's also meeting you within that space too. So I do feel, in a way, even though you can feel like there's some really deep pain that you're experiencing, at the same time I feel like you're receiving some really important emotional clarity through this about what you're looking for and about what you actually want. I'm getting confirmation of that. You can be seeing too that you may like wish for things to work out with you and this person, meaning you can know what you want, and you can also be like, I wish that what I wanted was available here within the relationship. At the same time, I don't think it is. I wish it could be with you, I wish it could be with this person, but you can know too at the same time, like, this is what you want is not available. Or at least that's a potential. Because you can be in a spot where you're like, the thing is too, I want to clarify about this, I'm not seeing something going on where it's like, it's this person's fault, or like, you shouldn't have done this. This feels like it comes down to compatibility and values, which means that like what you need in order to be in a certain space can be different than what another person needs to be in a space, or that like your idea of what vulnerability is and connection cannot be compatible with this other person. So it's not like they're wrong and you're right, or you're wrong and they're right. It's not like that. I'm not seeing anything where it's like someone hurt another person on purpose or like anything like that. I'm not seeing anything that's alluding to that. What I'm seeing is that you got hurt. And what I'm seeing too is that based off of what happened, it feels like it's clarifying for you what you're looking for, because you're experiencing the opposite of that. So that sort of clarifying things for you. And then the question coming up of, now that I'm much more aware of what I'm looking for, of what I actually want, I'm asking myself, is that available between you and I? You know, like you asking yourself, between myself and between this person that I'm in this connection with, is it possible for me to find what I'm looking for? Is that something that they're available for? Is that available within our dynamic, within this relationship, or is it not? And seeing Page of Swords feels like I'm getting curious about this. I'm looking into our dynamics now to try to figure out, am I just, not that you're wasting your time, but am I going to keep feeling hurt? Am I going to keep feeling like I'm setting myself up for major disappointment? This feels like it's beyond disappointment though with the Ten of Swords. It feels like it's even more than that. Like there's just like straight up pain that I'm seeing here happen. So coming into question, you becoming much more clear on what you want. There being this wish, this hope, I wish that I could find what I was looking for here. There's now a question of whether or not whether or not it's available for me to find what I'm looking for here. And now I need to go into basically like Page of Swords mode to find that out. So this is going to be me researching, asking questions, really looking at my dynamic with this person to find out, does this have what I'm looking for? Now that I know what I'm looking for, is what I'm looking for available within my relationship with this person? Because I am not satisfied and not wanting to continue to experience this type of pain. I don't want to keep opening myself up and then having like hitting rock bottom. I'm the most vulnerable and then I'm like the most wounded going through this, and I don't want to keep repeating that cycle. And it looks like that's what's coming up, of you trying to find out, if I keep doing this, is it going to be the same thing over and over and over again? Or is there an ounce of hope that I could maybe find what I'm looking for? Or do I have to look at this and be like, I wish that I could find it here, but I'm not, and I need to recognize that, I need to accept that, and I need to keep moving, you know? I'm not gonna lie to myself here. So this can be, it feels like all of this is being figured out currently. I'm seeing you definitely get the message here to see the world popping out. This feels like I'm in a very present place with myself emotionally. I'm very clear on what I want on a deeper level. Now I'm asking myself, is that something that's available in this situation? Yes or no? And then that is going to be your answer. And having the world here feels like I'm not trying to play games with myself anymore. And I'm like really looking for the truth here, because it feels like you're getting serious about things. Like you don't want to be spending time repeating things unnecessarily. And I feel like this is a time when a lot of things come to light. And you can be also too looking into something and like learning a lesson here, or understanding. When I say learning a lesson, I mean more so like you are understanding, getting a clear idea of the intricacies of how things energetically, the cycles that play out. And once that is under your belt, you're going to feel very much like I can move forward, and I can move forward quickly. Not just for the sake of moving quickly, but for the sake of making progress and not feeling like you're stagnating, not feeling like you're going in a loop, like around and around and around, and why am I not getting anywhere? This is the thing that's going to break you out of that, so you can actually go somewhere and not just be moving around in the same space over and over again. Like expanding beyond just that diameter within the cycle of your relationship with this person. This is going to inform you too. So once that's figured out, it's going to inform you of really how to take action, and you feeling like, okay, I've prepared myself now to be able to do this. And I know what needs to be done. I do get the sense that this is going to be a reconciling, but between you and yourself, because it will be the part of you that puts yourself on the line emotionally that is now going to be reconnecting with the part of you that takes action when action needs to be taken. So you can be the most emotionally involved in something, and that's the part of you that's the Queen of Cups. The part of you that is the King of Wands is coming and meeting the Queen of Cups and saying, like, do you want to keep doing this to yourself, or should we do something about this? Like, does action need to be taken? Like, do you need me to step in here? And that's basically what you're going to be doing for yourself. So these energies, you're basically like figuring out how to get them to come together so they can be in a place of mutual understanding with one another, and so things can move forward then. Because Queen of Cups, without there being a masculine, without you connecting with your masculine energy, means that you just like, you take it and you take it and you take it and you don't do anything, and you're martyring yourself, and you're like, why am I not finding what I'm looking for? Why do I keep getting hurt? Like, why does this keep happening? But then not doing anything about it because you're like, well, maybe one day it'll work. It's like that very, like, almost a hopeful, hopeless type of energy that you get into with the Queen of Cups, that can be holding on to this like fantasy of things even when you have situations like this happen, but you may sort of escape into that and be like, maybe one day things will fall into place, but then not taking action. So there's a lack of that. There's a lack of initiation when these situations are occurring, and just being like, well, this must just be like what I have to endure, and like telling yourself that, and then not moving and repeating the same cycle again and again, and it being more and more damaging to you, that whole thing. Or being like building yourself up and then being knocked back down, and again and again and again. And this is like looking outside of that and seeing that that is a choice to stay within that. And that this is a cycle that can really inform you of so much, and it can really unite you too with a part of yourself that's like, I have standards and I will do what I need to do in order to give myself the best chance of being able to experience exactly that. So this is that, the like unifying effect, the reconciling that's happening within you between your feminine water energy and your masculine fire energy. Your masculine fire energy has passion and wants that answered by the situations that you make for yourself, that you choose for yourself. I do get something about your standards. There's like some type of healing that's happening that has to do with your standards, that has to do with your preferences, that has to do with you making sure that you're giving yourself what you need. Feels too like the relationship again between these two energies, and can very much be symbolic as well and reflective of what's going on between you and this other person. I wonder too if there's a part of you that like maybe on paper something looks good, but emotionally it just doesn't feel right. There can be a part of you that can look in some ways at the value of what you have, but in other ways it may not be truly resonating with you or truly speaking to you on an emotional level. And that can be like actually where the issue is, that something is like not right for you on that level, that you're sort of in a different place. But all of this is important because it's going to help you actually like be able to experience what you want to experience, given this new sort of understanding or profound understanding of your preferences and what you're looking for. But yeah, maybe what's offered to you, it's not resonating with you, it's not enough. That's not saying that what somebody has to offer isn't good, because if they're offering it to a different person, that may be exactly what that other person is looking for, if that other person is compatible with them. But for you, you can be looking at something and be like, what you give is not what I need. Like, it's not totally compatible with what I need, and that's why I'm feeling like this. And what I give to you not totally compatible with what you need and why, like, whatever. And that can just be what's going on here with Six of Pentacles and Four of Cups. It can feel sort of like what's being like required of you, what the other person, not even required, well, I don't know how much this is being requested of you, but you can just know like what this other person is looking for, or maybe, yeah, like what would be ideal to them. You can look at that and be like, that's not really what, I'm not really there. And you can feel like it's the same way too with this other person, that sort of what you need as far as what your values and what your standards are and what they're showing up with, two different things. And that's why you're feeling the way that you're feeling with this Four of Cups. It's like, I don't want to take that, you know? This is like, because you know that on the inside something isn't balanced, that something isn't fair, that it's not aligned. When I say fair, I mean more so from a place of, if I need this, what's being given, like when the scales are weighed, like this is much more dense than this thing over here, because it's like it doesn't equate to your values. And then things can happen where you feel like, I'm not being recognized, I'm not being seen, I'm not being appreciated, I'm not loved. And it can really come down to that. You can feel like what you need on an emotional level is not what is sort of occurring within the dynamic with this person. And you can feel like you're not loving yourself by continuing to put yourself in this cycle, like you're not showing up for yourself and not taking action. And I wonder too, for those of you that you like really resonate with the energy of the Queen of Cups, and you have less of you're less tapped into your masculine fire energy, sometimes you can even have fantasies like, I want somebody to swoop in and save me. Like, even if it's not like that direct, it can be sort of like a passing you by thought that you have sometimes, like, I wish somebody would just come through and make it all better. And it's like, that's your cue for you to do those things for yourself here within this dynamic. Like, it's telling you that this may not be a right fit for you. And as much as you can be like putting in as much effort as possible to try to make this work, it just may not be the thing. And you can too, like for some of you, I'm getting even that you can potentially like make up with this person, but you can feel like you don't feel at peace about this. Even if you can, okay, like let's try again, let's try to go back into this again. There can be something within you that's feeling like you reject this, and it can feel like it's not your choice either, that it's just happening. Because you can really want to accept this, like, I want this to work, I want this to be working for me, I want this to be it. But Four of Cups is like, something about this does not resonate with you, like something about this is not aligned. Something about this, it may not actually be compatible. And again, that's not to say like this person shows up empty-handed. It can just be that what they happen to be providing is not aligned for you. It's not what you need. It's not what you want. As much as you could want it to be what you want, that may not be the case here. I get to, like, you're moving into a position where it feels like you're really working things out, that are working things out in association with your values and what you need, like, standardly within a relationship in order to feel secure and like there's longevity and things can be sustainable, and that things work the way that you want them to work. And I do feel too that in you sitting within this, you can be really understanding too on an emotional level, like what you need, what you're looking for, that being made very clear. You looking at this situation and being like, this doesn't, like what's being offered to me, it's not aligned, it's not compatible with my values, and I'm not going to be happy with this. Not long term anyway. Like, you can have moments of the relationships are not black and white. You can have moments where you feel like a lot of joy with someone, where you feel happy, where you guys are getting along, where this is working, that is working, but it feels like inevitably it like always sort of comes back to this conclusion of like this doesn't really fit a whole lot. And sometimes it can, but as far as like percentage of how much it does, you can feel like it works less. It doesn't work more than when it does work, if that makes sense. Like if there's a percentage of what doesn't work between you and this person, it can be like 75% doesn't work and 25% does. That's not to say none of this works at all. You guys are 100% wrong for each other, but it's like if there's that high of a percentage of something not really fitting together, does that mean that it doesn't work for you? Or does it? I don't know. You're gonna have to decide for yourself what you want to do, but I'm seeing definitely for the most part things being less compatible than maybe would be ideal for you in order to feel happy within a dynamic. And having Saturn there, like having the world here, feels like looking at this and Saturn being like, this is the truth. If you really look at it, that is what you will find. And that's why you've been feeling the way that you've been feeling. For some of you too, you could have been feeling very back and forth. Like, why sometimes am I like into it? And then why sometimes like is feeling like a big no to me? And it's because you feel that. Like, this doesn't work. Now it's working. This doesn't work. Now it's working. And it's because like overall, if you had to measure things, you'd see that it doesn't work more than it does work with this person. Especially on an energetic level and on an emotional level, and those things being different. You could also decide to take a break and take some time for yourself too, till you feel like you're sort of like coming back into a space. Maybe you just feel like, I need to take a break from this for now and to sort some things out. Because trying to like move forward and have to repeat things, you could feel like that's going to be a big no for you. It's not what you're trying to experience. And I do get the sense of needing a bit of a mental and emotional reset here. And some of you too, you may just like spend time with like other people, like spend time with your friends or spend time with yourself, or spend energy in places where you feel understood, like that type of thing, or where you feel like you get some type of support sort of for where you are, so you know that you're not going through this alone, even if that's just you connecting with yourself in a way that maybe you hadn't been. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.